Relationship advice. Overheard my 26 male wife, 24 female tell her friend on the phone that she settled for being with me and that marrying me was her last resort. Edit meant to put wife in the title. But now I can't change it. Basically the title. I overheard my wife talking to one of her best friends on the phone while I was passing the bedroom. This friend is in a serious relationship. My wife then said to her, "Sweetie, remember, it's your choice. Don't settle for just anyone. That's the mistake I made. Who knows who else I could have had. My name was my very last resort. And now look where it made me end up." Hearing that honestly broke my heart into. Does she even love me? Why am I being treated as a second base? Am I being dramatic and overreacting? I haven't said anything about it since I honestly don't know what to do. But hearing her say that has really made me upset. Now for the top advice before the full update: be your first choice. Yep. Confront her. But if she thinks she's settling and you're not her first choice, then you need to find someone else who doesn't think that there's not a lot of confronting. You can't talk someone out of that line of thought. I'd say something on the way out of the house, but that's it. Freaking brutal. I am so sorry to hear that. You should really talk to her about it. You should never be somebody's last resort. If that's how she really feels, maybe that relationship isn't working. She's only going to backtrack and start minimizing it. I expect to hold this view means you don't respect the other person, never mind, love them. You're a placeholder of regret. Some words can't be unsaid. How can she now prove to him that those words were not true? And if they are, they killed the relationship there and then. Talking feels necromancy on this one. I'm really confused by why she would say you were her last resort when she's only 24. Did she have a deadline to meet or something around this age? I notice that people are getting quick to want to settle down and be in long-term relationships without any serious consideration for them because they start realizing that we are truly in adulthood. I'm 24 too. And I notice there's a lot of pressure to get serious about life, and people always ask about marriage, relationships, kids, etc. She probably felt pressure to get married, not saying pressured by just in general. Maybe she saw a lot of her friends get married, so she decided that she needs to as well. Maybe she didn't want to feel left out. Maybe she wanted the attention from social media. Who knows? She sounds pretty rapid and she's only going to regret putting up through this. I hope he looks into getting divorced now. For the updates. Thanks everyone for the kind words, really has made me feel a lot better. Going to be talking to her soon. Also, I noticed a lot of people thinking this post is fake. I understand how it could be seen that way, but it isn't. I've been engaged to her for over a year and a half, and just 3 months ago, we got married. Not really used to calling her my wife yet. Also, I used an old adult since she uses Reddit. Anyways, thanks for the advice. Everyone. It amazes me how people on the internet can care so much about a person they don't even know. I'm going to talk to her today. I will be updating you all soon after. The final update: just did one of the hardest things I've ever had to do today after breakfast. I told her we should sit down and talk. She was hesitant, but I said it was important. We went to the living room and she said to me, "I already know what this is about." My post apparently made it to the front page. So of course she saw it after scrolling down a bit. Unpopular. Of course, the waterworks started happening right away. I told her what she said had deeply hurt me. But obviously she already knew that since she read my post through her tears. She said I was just joking. I wasn't serious. She then went on saying stuff like, I love you. I love you. I told her I can be in a marriage where my significant other doesn't love me the same way. I love them. She tried to tell me that she loved me and that I meant something to her, but it was all BS. She said she didn't want to lose me. I told her, I don't think this marriage was the right decision. And from there, I basically told her it was over. I told her I knew how she really felt about me and that it was messed up. She basically played with my emotions. For all those wondering. We have no kids and I pay fully for the apartment we live in, and I own almost everything we have other than her clothes. I even pay for her car. So after all of this, she'll have little to nothing left before our marriage. We agreed to sign a prenup. And at that moment, I've never been so happy with the decision I've made in my life. After that, it was a few seconds of awkward silence before she said to me She started screaming at me, telling me you just can't end things like that. I told her I could do whatever I wanted, and that's when she became very hostile. She screamed at me saying you're the freaking worst relationship I've ever been in. You think I can't find someone again? Do you think you'll ever find someone as good as me? You're a freaking idiot. My name. She grabbed her bag and phone and said I'm leaving before slamming the door behind her. At that moment, I felt like I was on one of those dramatic sitcoms you'd find of TV. I sat down on the couch and cried, and I'm still crying as I type this up. It's both happy and sad tears, and I knew it was only a matter of time before she cheats on me or leaves me. She never loved me. It was obvious our relationship only went one way, and I feel like a complete idiot for not seeing it earlier. I live in California and I'm going to start the process to annul our marriage tomorrow. I'm going to start throwing all of her belongings into trash bags, cause that's essentially where they belong. I'm not throwing out her stuff, just using the trash bags as a way to give her back the things she owns. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your kind words and your great advice. All of you gave me the courage to stand up for myself. And I know my life will certainly improve as a result. Now for the last story update. 36 male, my wife, 33 female, while drunk confessed, she only married me as a last resort. Original story. As the title says, she then goes on to say I wanted to get with Ty, my friend, which made things awkward as my family were playing her sister, shut her up and played it off as a joke. Not even sure how to take this, but I've always suspected she never genuinely loved me. How do I even begin to confront her about this? Now for the top advice before reading the update. That's absolutely awful. I'm so sorry. How do I even begin to confront her about this? Do you even want to stay in this marriage after that? Do you even want to stay in this marriage after that? No, but I need to be sure. It seems you're already very sure. You're just looking to go from 99% to 100%. Sure, problem is that will depend on getting her to come clean, and she is unlikely to do that. Getting that last 1% is not going to be worth the trouble it's going to cause by isn't likely. I mean, there's no freaking way. Last resort means you're the security and stability. She's not giving that up. See a lawyer, let her know her last resort is going to find someone who considers you their first choice to bring someone specific up. No. This is eventually going to end anyway. Why not save your dignity and be the one to do it? If you don't, that girl out there who would be so happy to be with you and respect, you will never get a taste. Don't wait until you're both in your late 30s. Every time you let your guard down around her, this will sneak back in and start breaking bones inside of your mind. Tell her you don't want to settle for someone who would treat you that way, and mean it also. I am sorry this happened to you. Clearly, your sister-in-law already knows this since she tried playing it off. As soon as this truth came out, I'd personally be in talks with a divorced lawyer and try to take as much as I can from her that belongs to me and serve her that would single-handedly seal the deal for me. Sorry, man, this was my first thought as well, that the sister-in-law knew about this for a long time. Possible. Even before you got married. Here's what's going to happen. Your sister-in-law is going to tell your wife about her drunk confession as soon as your wife sobers up. I'm guessing that either sister-in-law took your wife with her to get over the hangover, or she stayed overnight so that she can talk to her first thing in the morning, or she may have sent your wife a text to call your sister-in-law. As soon as your wife wakes up, I think your sister-in-law may try to talk to your wife first before you get a chance to. Then your wife is going to be extra nice to you for a couple of weeks. She has already rehearsed what she's going to say to you when you ask her about it eventually. So when you ask your wife, she is probably going to minimize everything and make you look like a fool. She may even say that, but I chose you, as if chosen by her is a badge of honor. Anyway, what you do at this point is up to you. I wouldn't stay. And now for the update. There's a lesson to be learned. Poor communication, plus insecurity, plus alcohol equals bad time. I confronted her about this and let it off my chest. I'm insecure and depressed. She knows and she's accepted me for that, and I do my best to improve. She was the only person to ever see who I truly was beneath all my bluster. She was straight up honest, even though she knew it would hurt. I wasn't her first choice and was more like a last choice she thought I knew. But it's clear I didn't. She met Ty before I did. She was young, lonely and miserable. She was tired of men breaking her heart and was convinced she'd be alone forever. She'd swear off men anyways. She liked Ty, but Ty didn't even acknowledge she existed. No matter how hard she tried while chasing Ty, she met me since Ty and I were best friends back then, and since Ty never humored her and never once even noticed her feelings. She settled for me. She asked me out for drinks and she realized we had a ton of chemistry, but she quickly realized she had made the right choice and fell deeply in love with me. She typically doesn't tell the full story because it's private and people don't really need to know the details. She told me she feels ashamed. She wasted time chasing after Ty and ignored the fact I was right in front of her. She wasted a lot of time chasing after a man who didn't even notice she existed, and it's not like she knew anything about him. She really didn't know anything about him. She was only lusting after him. She's only ever told her sister. Her sister reacted the way she did, mostly because she really knows this is sort of a private thing. Most of my family assume it was a love at first sight thing. It's awkward as hell to just blurt that out. Could she be lying? I believe her. If I can't believe her, then I can't believe anyone. Her story adds up to what I remember. She's been with me the entire time, and we have 2 kids now, a family. I really don't want to start doubting our relationship. But I'll be honest and did doubt it when she told me it's that negativity that comes up my side. It was I met her while she was still crushing on Ty. She was a coworker. I thought she was cute, but she didn't really have any interest in me and I didn't feel like making a move. Ty thought she was unattractive and annoying. He never humored her. Eventually she stopped chasing him and started talking to me. She asked me out to drinks one day and we realized we had a lot in common and we had a ton of chemistry together. The rest was history. Could she be cheating? Now that I doubt as she and Ty don't get along, and not to be rude. But Ty is married and the years were not kind to him as for suspecting she doesn't love me. I was drunk, and when I drink my insecure, depressive self comes out. I don't think rationally do. I believe she doesn't. No, but it's difficult to not think it because I'm insecure and depressed. It's always that voice at the back saying she hates you, your kids hate you, everyone hates you but only tolerate you. It's toxic, but it's something I do wish to change, and she's done a lot to help me. Now for the closing comments. To me, that sounds like a plausible story. We all do stupid crap and some of us chase after the wrong person, but still I can understand how hurtful this type of thing can be. On the other hand, it doesn't sound like you were the last resort either. Maybe at that specific time when you first met, but she did fall for you, didn't she? You should definitely work on your mental issues. And if you're already doing it, keep doing it, only good can come out of it. She was young and depressed. I seriously doubt she'd swear off guys forever. You should definitely work on your mental issues. And if you're already doing it, keep doing it, only good can come out of it. I've been trying. It's difficult. She sees me for who I am and loves me for it. She's done a lot to help me when I'm down. What I read here is this. She saw Ty in one of him. He didn't want her. Then you two got to know each other. It wasn't love at first sight. It rarely is. But the more she learned to know you, the more she fell in love with you. Which is wonderful. To be honest, that sounds a heck of a lot different than your first post, just as well as that you were. The last resort is not right. You just weren't in love at first sight, but she still fell in love with you just like you fell in love with her. I was one of those who told you to separate for some time after I saw your first post. Now, I think that you two just need to be more open to each other. Getting rid of your insecurities also means that you allow her to be open to you without you judging how she feels about a certain something. I doubt that she is cheating or that she is only with you because you are convenient. She just learned that you have qualities that are not visible on the outside and she values you for that. I somehow doubt that you'll already realize how much that is worth. You aren't her last resort. You were just the last man who she dated since she then made the decision for life for you. No more need to date. Good luck and stay strong. Absolutely. She was lusting after Ty but never knew anything about him. She said she fell for him because he was nice to her and helped show her the ropes at work once they got to know each other, which was long after we were dating. She realized they had nothing even remotely in common and it was beyond stupid to ever chase him. They weren't compatible. One of the reasons she and I had such chemistry was I was the only person who understood her and vice versa. She was lonely and had been all her life. She never really had friends. Her sister was always busy with friends and her parents working deep down. She too suffers from being insecure and depressed. Every relation she ever had failed miserably. Either they cheated on her or only used her for pleasure. We kind of just connected from first date. I think her answer is not only plausible, but incredibly common. A lot of people wind up falling for and marrying someone that they wouldn't have initially said, "This is my ideal spouse." It's settling in a sense, but it's not a bad thing with dating experience. Sometimes you find out that what you really need in a partner is completely different from what you thought you wanted or the traits that you found superficially attractive when you were younger. It sounds like your wife's feelings for Ty were just a crush, though an obsessive one may be, and that essentially means nothing. I'm guessing she was either young or inexperienced/immature at the time. And she just picked out a guy she was physically attracted to and projected desirable traits onto him. We've all done this with a crush. It's just a fantasy and doesn't mean you want to marry that person in reality. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.